Well, good morning, my fellow brothers and sisters. Good morning, correctional officers of America. So this little piece here, this is about correctional officers and PTSD. The theory of the job is commendable, but the reality on the ground is starkly different. It's been said that prison guards can never be weak. While exact figures are not easy to come by, it's estimated that 500,000 officers work in prisons where there are over 2.5 million prisoners. Correctional officers are exhausted, traumatized, and often ignored or shunned if they express any weariness or misgivings about the work they are required to do. As a result, correctional officers have rates of post-traumatic stress disorder, otherwise known as PTSD, that are more than double the rate that military veterans experience. This in turn affects prisoners. Correctional officers have been known to take their frustrations and anxieties out on inmates. No, really? No, just kidding. Incurring penalties that contribute to their mental health problems. Clinical research done on correctional policy issues conducted an anonymous survey of COs looking specifically for the signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. Flashbacks, hypervigilance, suicidal thoughts, depression, and intrusive thoughts, among other symptoms. The survey found that 34% of correctional officers met the criteria for PTSD. By comparison, only 14% of military veterans experience those symptoms. When it came to suicide, COs, otherwise known as correctional officers, take their own lives at a rate of twice that of both police officers and the general public. A national study found that the risk of suicide among COs is 39% higher than all other professions put together. COs that have been interviewed have said that most of the job was pretty mundane. Cell counts, watching what inmates are doing, even getting inmates extra toilet paper. They can go on for as long as 16 hours straight, sometimes without breaking for lunch. Some jails do 18 hours. Such activities can account for 95% of the job. What happens in the other 5% is what scars many officers. Breaking up fights between inmates, trying to stop suicide attempts, and coming home with blood or human excrement smeared all over their uniform. The worst part? Officers don't know when the violence and intensity of that 5% will happen. This leads to correctional officers being in a constant state of hypervigilance, a switch that they cannot turn off when they go home for the day. The high blood pressure from the constant state of fight or flight can lead more correctional officers to experience heart attacks, ulcers, and reduced life expectancy. Some pretty awful stuff. That's brought to us by the American Addiction Centers. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, pay attention. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Make sure you're putting on the full armor of God. And make sure you're doing what you need to do for you and your family. So thank you, and God bless you, and be safe out there. And happy birthday to all of our March correctional officers. All of our correctional officers born in March. Happy birthday.